It was the summer of 2006, my first day at my dream job. I was so nervous as I approached 85 Broad Street that I could barely open the doors to enter the building. My whole body was shaking, and I felt as if I was going to explode from first day jitters. What if scenarios ran through my brain as I made my way to my desk? What if I didn't like my job? What if they didn't like me? What if I can't find my desk and I'm late for my first day of work? Luckily, I found my manager, let's call him Bob, pretty quickly, and he turned out to be pretty nice. He took me around the floor, introduced me to folks, and he even took me out to lunch. I left the building that day thinking, I'm gonna be okay. I'm going to fit in here. About a week into the job, Bob calls me into his office, and he began to tear apart a report that I had prepared for him. Nothing about this report was right. And as he got into how wrong it was, the angrier he became. The angrier he became, the more nervous and scared that I became, and the more questions that I had for him about how to fix it. When I was done with my questions, he looked at me cold, straight in the eyes, and said, "What is the problem, Jean?" I felt as if I got sucker punched. I knew what he really meant to ask was, what is my problem? And I had nothing to say to him. All I could do was to excuse myself, pick up my stuff, and run out of that office as quickly as possible, hoping that he wouldn't see me cry. And on my way home that night, I just kept replaying the conversation over and over again in my head. What did I say that was so wrong? What did I do to make him so mad? And what could I have done to make him happy? It didn't take too long for me to realize that the best way to work with Bob was to pretty much stay out of his way. And that's what I did until I left the firm. Before starting my new job, I stood there praying and praying that Bob was just a fluke. But it wasn't. Over the next 6 years, I constantly beat myself up, more so than Bob could have ever beat me up, because I just wasn't cutting it in finance or in life. While everyone else around me looked so happy, I felt so miserable on the inside, constantly doubting everything about me, worrying if I said the right thing, or if I did the right thing, or if I would have pissed off the next Bob. It got so bad that I became a self-inflicted insomniac. Finally, 2 jobs and 3 Bobs later, I realized I was never going to make Bob happy. No one can. And it was with this epiphany that I stood there in the middle of my office at home alone. And I declared to the universe, fuck Bob! Bob will never, ever control my success or failures, because if I fail, I will fail on my terms, not on Bob's. That was the moment that I picked myself off the floor of Bob's office at 85 Broad Street. When I stopped asking Bob for permission to succeed, I finally found the success that I was looking for since that summer. When I allowed myself to be seen, I actually became the go-to subject matter expert at my firm of over 200,000 employees, and the success keeps growing. Because here's the thing, there are Bobs everywhere. But he is merely a reflection of our own insecurities. He has no power over any of us unless you choose to hand it to him. Life is hard. It'll knock you down. But that doesn't mean that you're weak. It's what you do afterwards that will truly define you. And you have a choice each and every day. Will you allow Bob to be your ending, or will you make him the beginning of your comeback story? Thank you.